Okay, I'm very happy today to welcome filmmaker Henning Morales and Chief Dr. Lister Bailey. And I want to speak a little bit about them and their work. We will be diving into Mindatorium, a Beverly Hills-based multimedia company that has launched Ecos TV. It's a new channel and an application you can find on your computer, your Android phone, and it's the first of its kind streaming platform that merges high impact entertainment with valuable life lessons. And Hennings is a filmmaker. I had the pleasure of meeting him last year during the African Silicon Valley Film Festival. And we exchanged a lot of talks until now, and I thought of bringing him to my channel. I think he has produced more than 13 films, and also he's the author of best-selling novel The Dirt Merchants. Also, Chief Dr. Lister Bailey, he's a co-founder and executive tribe director of Mindatorium. He is a 30-year veteran of the Chicago Police Department and former bodyguard to two American presidents. So welcome, Chief. Welcome, Hennings. Good morning. How is everything?
It is just fantastic. It's just another great day we're having in the USA.
Okay. First, I want to speak to Henning. Tell me a little bit how you're a novelist, a filmmaker, and you do a lot of talks around America. Tell me what did spark with you the idea about the creation of Mindatorium and Ecos TV?
Well, we knew that, excuse me, after making several films, producing several films, writing, directing, we knew that there were many streaming platforms for purely entertainment-based product. And there are also several platforms that cater to the personal development market. And because our movies and the productions that we were creating at the time were entirely personal development related, motivational, inspirational, transformational, we wanted to create a platform, excuse me, where we could have a combination of both entertainment and personal development. And that was the original motivation for starting Mindatorium, and eventually that became the platform which is now known as Ecos TV.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And Chief, I want to tell you, how did you came on board to Ecos TV?
You're on mute. Chief, you're on mute.
I
There you go.
Okay,
Yes.
let's try this take three.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes you just have the best of luck. I've always
Yes.
been a part of personal development, and Henning and I both agree on personal development is a way of life. And knowing
Yes.
that, we decided to kind of collaborate together to bring this all about being in the best place at the best time, showing who we actually are and why we're doing what we're doing.
Uh-huh. Yes, great. And I have a question for
Anything
both
else?
of you. Yes, yes. Yes, I have a question for both of you. When we say conscious-minded entertainment, what does it mean? How can we explain it to people who would like to either present their works at Ecos TV or become viewers, and subscribers?
Go ahead, Chief.
One of the greatest things that we've had is so many people have gotten into the horror part of life. They like the horror films and they like, the shoot up films. But where
Yes.
else in the world can we go where people can be excited about a hero story?
Yeah.
Something that you and the family can watch, whether you're 3 or you're 93. You have to be in a place where you and your children, your grandchildren, and your family can get together and talk about a film and talk about how can this film help you to grow and help you to
Yes.
see what that growth can be. And you look at
Yeah.
the filmmakers, wherever that they are in the world, they're looking for a place to be able to show films in which their families can enjoy. They don't have to hide something from someone. They're giving them life. And because we decided that someone can have that opportunity from the Mindatorium Echoes TV spot, we said that we're ready to start showing that. We're ready to see what the filmmakers have been dreaming about, how they're going to create life instead of showing how to end life. You're showing how to actually live through it. And we've been pushing what that idealism is, be it if we're talking about the film or the music or the coaching or the training. You want a place where you feel comfortable to be able to give everybody your story without something meaning that this is the end of life part of the story.
I love how Chief phrases that. It's the life portion versus the death portion. I love it. So much of what we watch is for pure entertainment purposes, and there's nothing wrong with that in and of itself. But a steady diet of high drama or violence or gratuitous this or controversial that, it's going to have an effect on your psyche. And it's something that I learned at a very young age from my teachers, my mentors, the people who coached me and trained me in the inspirational and motivational world. I was a speaker for 10 years before I started making movies, actually longer than that, but really had a really great 10-year career as an inspirational, motivational, transformational speaker, if you will. And what I learned from my mentors early on as a teenager was the importance of maintaining a positive mental attitude and only allowing in the things that are positive and things that are, and sometimes it may not be just so pleasant, but things, when we say positive or conscious, it means things that are good for you, things that are going to help you in your life to become a happier, more well-adjusted person and just to live a happy life, which is the bottom line. And so much of what we watch is really the opposite of that. And when we decided to create this platform, we wanted to create a platform that had the good stuff. And I liken it to diet. And, many people, they love their dessert, right? And I eat dessert. I'm a pretty healthy person, as Chief can probably tell you. And I really try to take good care of myself. Don't try, I do. And but I still fall for dessert every once in a while, and that's fine. It's not a major problem for you if you have dessert after dinner, right? Depending on the dessert, depending on how much dessert. But I'm sure we can all agree that having dessert, whether it be chocolate cake or ice cream or pie or whatever it is, if you have that at every meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, midnight snack, dessert, you're going to get sick. And that's what happens to people when they're constantly watching this imagery that it's disempowering. And it's not just movies, it's not just television, it's video games, it's social media, it's any kind of media that's basically affecting your mindset in a disempowering fashion. Once in a while, it's okay, Sheriff, but not every day, not for every meal. And we want to be that alternative.
Yes. But I want to ask you, because I've seen, being familiar with Echoes TV since we met, I check it out as well. I see that it is divided into several sectors. Am I correct? Can we shed the light a little bit on that?
7 sectors that are related, that are included in the platform. One is feature films, then there's shorter films. There are TV, there's a TV area, broadcast media, we call it. There's Impact on Earth. There are courses. And also there's the tribe community. And that's, again, a major differentiator between what we do and really anybody else at this point, is that we include everything in one subscription, one-stop shop, commercial free. You get all the sectors, you get all the movies, all the TV shows, all the broadcast media, all the courses, the great stuff, and also this tribe, what we call tribe community. And Chief can speak on the tribe community and why that really just puts us in a whole separate category.
Yes, Chief. What can you tell us about the tribe community and how can users connect there?
Well, it's really easy. All of our subscribers, they can actually go to our community. All you have to do is look at the word community. And community
Yes.
means involving everybody from wherever that they are. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You want to be able to talk with people. Just like any
Yes.
other social media, we have our own social media. We don't have to broadcast out to the world, but the world can be broadcasted through our own social media. The people who love the movies and they want to be able to connect with creators, content creators. They want to be able to talk with them, tell them what they like, what's some more of the things that they can have. They can talk about the films. All of it can be done in our community. You can let us know what's going on your side of the world. I love being able to talk with somebody in Ecuador and then Italy and go to Germany, or talk with somebody in the US and then be able to say, hi, we're in Canada. We're in Canada. What's going on with you? We can have the same conversation that anyone can have right there with us. And we're closer to each other because this is our community. This is the Echoes TV community. It's a tribe. It's a tribe where people can get to, if you have something special like in personal development, or you have an idea you want to express without negativity. See, we're in this particular world, we're getting away from the negative aspects of everything that you hear, but you're now being able to hear somebody give you something positive, something that's going to lift you up. And you want to always surround yourself around people who would lift you up instead of people giving you the negative conversations that people have all the time. So our community does that, and it's just in tapping a button on the page. On our actual page, you can just tab on over to our more section, hit community, and begin your conversation.
Yes. And right now, if somebody would like to subscribe into Echoes, he can do it via his Android television, I imagine, or his cell phone. How much is the subscription right now?
On $99 a year, and I repeat, only. And that's right now we're actually giving that, and you can find nobody else right now giving a price like that. We're going to do it for a little while longer, because we're saying we're all family, we're all friends, we're all a part of a tribe, and we want people to connect with us. And the more and more you connect with us, you find out such a value that we give on a regular basis.
Yes. You know, myself, I used to write this kind of trade articles for Variety and Hollywood Reporter from Egypt, from Europe, when I used to travel to festivals to see the business aspect of festivals, of film production. And right now, if you have noticed, you know, there are a lot of merging happening right now in the United States between big studios, you know, like Skydance and Paramount, like Netflix trying to purchase Warner Brothers, competing with Paramount itself. Amazon, you know, right now merging and, you know, acquiring MGM. So from the business side, what are the challenges of setting a new streaming platform with such vision and mission, you know, according to both of you?
Well, I'll start, Chief, if I may, and just talk about the business side and the things that we are encountering in terms of competing with all of the attention for eyeballs, right? So there's a lot of noise, and that I call it, where again we're having to kind of break through that noise and develop our own voice and our own mission and our own reason for people to come and be on this platform and watch content on our platform. And for us, it's a question of combining all of these genres. The most successful, the most successful filmmaker of our time, I believe, is Quentin Tarantino, and he has mastered the genre melding, the genre combining, bringing different genres together in a different and unique way. And that's really where we see ourselves in this marketplace. We're not just a streaming platform. We're a community. We're not just a community. We're an online educational center. We're not just education, because we have entertainment-based products that are not entertainment, but are all of the same, in the same audience range, where we know our audience really well. And that comes from all of our years in the personal development space, not just myself, but also many members of our team, including Chief, who can speak to this, who's on with us today. We have massive experience in the personal development space. We know our audience, and that's how we stand out. Now, as far as business-wise and how we raise to the level of some of these giants and eventually position for our acquisition, which is our end target, to be acquired by a large entity that can bring us more exposure, more power, more reach, more frequency, more ears that can hear the echoes of our voices, if you will, and that is our ultimate goal. And we stand out in the marketplace because we're not just one thing; we're several things, and combined into one subscription. And that's how we stand out. And the way we do it is really through a tremendous team. We have a marketing team and a sales team that are second to none. And we've been preparing and training this team and developing our systems really for the past 4 years, but more intensely the past year. We've really, since we branded Echoes TV, and now we are in a position to really drive subscriptions and drive subscribers to the platform. And it boils down to two things. We have a very strong affiliate program where anyone who shares content from our site or from our platform, they can earn an affiliate commission, which is very unique. I don't know that you can make a commission working joining Netflix and sharing a trailer and then they pay you. I don't think they do that. And not to pick on Netflix, they just happen to be the biggest one. None of these companies do that. So that's one thing that's very powerful for us as an affiliate program. And we are bringing in major affiliates that have mass audiences to take advantage of that. And then we also have an advertising campaign, which we are starting to implement. This week is really we're doing many testers to see which of these platforms is going to bring us the most relevant audience to add to our subscriber base, and that's LinkedIn, Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, and then you have YouTube ads and TikTok and all those guys. So we're utilizing the social media landscape to bring people into our world, although we don't promote those things, but we're using we're going to where the people are to bring them to something different. Yeah.
Yes, Chief, do you like to add something to Henning's about the business aspect?
No, Henning basically told you the greatest thing about the aspect of the business. And for our little friend who says that she is in Brazil, we'll be shooting a documentary there. So I want you to keep up with us as we talk about that. And I'm glad that she is here with us. But we do a lot to make sure that we connect the world. And that's the most important part of what our business is to connect where you are. Instead of excluding you, we want to include everyone who wants to be on that side of the table. So that way we can just see, the goodness of everybody with the business.
Yes.
We have so much value to our platform that people are really ready to see something different. And we're giving them extras, more value. We haven't even talked about actually what we're doing for every day. Well, every business day of the week, we have something special for our subscribers, which other channels don't have. So, Sherif, back to you.
Yeah. Yes. Last week also I got a press release. I think it's part of the marketing and publicity that Henning spoke about. It's about the AI film, Deep Frame. So I want to know about the background of such production and what can you tell us about the film, both of you?
I think I'll start that one, and then Chief can chime in. We started, Sherif, to work with AI technologies really back in 2022 and 2023. So this is not something new that we have just started working with. We use AI avatars, talking heads, if you will, to deliver many of our messages early on. We probably created, I don't know, maybe 100 videos with different AI avatars explaining our business model to potential collaborators and potential staff members and executives earlier on. We've also used AI technology for all of our translations. We have a kind of a unique process that we use to do subtitling of our content so people around the world can enjoy it. So most of our content's available in 13 languages, and we have over 1,500 pieces of content on our platform. So you can't do that the traditional way. You've got to use the speed of AI and the accuracy of these translations. So we've been doing that for the past several years. And in starting to work with these AI avatars, I always said since the beginning, I said, if I ever get these AI avatars talking to each other, if I could ever get them like in a cinematic position on a screen, because having produced all these other films, you know, there's a joy in blocking a scene and lighting the scene and coloring the scene and making sure that it's exactly how what the story calls for. And if I could ever do that with these AI avatars, I said, I can make a movie. I can definitely make a film with all of the team that we have and all of our backgrounds. We can definitely do that. And that's what happened last summer. I got the avatars actually talking to each other, and the technology has kind of caught up with that. And eventually I created a 5-minute music video piece that had all of the elements of all the elements of a feature film, different camera angles, different blocking, different lighting sequences, different sets and wardrobe. And I created that, and I started showing it to my partners, and they all came on board with the idea of creating a film. And we wanted to do it entirely AI rendered feature film, which had never been done before. So this is the first ever AI rendered photorealistic feature film. When I say photorealistic, it looks like people. It doesn't look like a cartoon. So we did that, and we premiered it, at the Culver Theater, which is Amazon's movie theater complex in Los Angeles, on February 10th. And people really liked it, and we had rave reviews. And we showed it at the Berlin Film Festival a couple of days later to a small group, and people really liked it there. And when I came back, we really started to finalize the soundtrack, and we brought Andrew Lane into the fold to remaster the music, and that also is part of our release strategy is a soundtrack that goes along with it. We're doing a final premiere in New York on May 20th, and then we release it the next day exclusively on Echoes TV. And alongside of the release of the film, we're also releasing a radio station which has over 400 original songs that you can't hear anywhere else in the world except on Echoes Radio. And then also on June 6th, following the release of the movie, we're releasing the first half of the movie soundtrack with Andrew Lane's mastered recordings. And these are songs produced by a 22-time platinum music producer with amazing vocalists and tremendous instrumentation and studio design. The soundtrack is going to be something really special. So we're taking full advantage of the first ever AI movie, and to go ahead and make sure that we bring the music out and continue to bring subscribers and viewers back to Echoes TV. Chief, you want to add anything to that?
Oh, yeah. Where can you go to have the experience for an AI movie? We're going to be having this experience live on, of course, our own Echoes TV station. When people go to live.echoes.tv, they have an opportunity to see everything that we're doing. And with this movie, Deep Frame, to imagine seeing what AI can do. And this is for right now, today, on today's day, on the 21st of April, we're actually able to see something that we have never seen before, new technology. And new technology always has a way to come in and take over what people were used to. People get a little nervous because it's AI and they're hearing weird things about it, but they've never experienced it. and we're giving them a chance to experience something brand new, something that's going to, open their eyes, their vision, especially to content creators. Oh my goodness, they're being able to see, what can I do from one spot? How can I move my movie to tell a story? Because a lot of them want to be able to tell a story, but they don't know what to do and how would it look, and it makes them nervous. And today we're showing them. We have, on this coming Sunday, we even have a special watching, so everybody can come in and kind of get a preview of what the world is going to see soon. So it's just telling people to get live on board, start seeing what you can do
Yes.
with AI
Yes.
and
But
enjoy the new experience.
yes,
Okay.
Henning, do you think that your own novel could be adapted into an AI film?
Well, the novel is the answer is yes. Basically, the novel, the Dirt Merchants, is the basis for the characters and the storyline for all of my 13 movies. So yeah, we definitely adapted the book, but the traditional and the previous 12 movies, they were, and you're watching one of them in the background right here, which is called Serious Jam. In the previous 12 movies, we shot them the mainstream way with cameras.
Yes.
And the 13th movie in the series, really my 14th film, but the 13th in this series, is completely AI rendered, no cameras. And we used characters from the novel, and that story, the story of Deep Frame, is a caper. It's a crime / motivational mentorship / musical journey. It's really a musical. There's 70% music. Music tells the story. And so there's a music studio, very powerful music studio that's involved. So really there's three main storylines going on throughout the film. And we're in a situation right now where people were so excited about this movie, and we started to work on the sequels, which are also based on characters of from the novel. And the storyline continues. But one of the things that we realized was, first, there was no AI rendered feature film that existed, and we created the first one. Congratulations to the team. And there's also no fully AI rendered. When I say rendered, I mean the visuals are all AI. There's no AI rendered photorealistic series. So we started a series. And really, it's going to be 20 episodes the first season, 20 minutes long. Each episode has probably 2 songs, maybe 3 songs each episode. We're talking about brand new original music produced by a 22-time platinum award-winning producer. I want to mention that because this is going to be something very, very entertaining and unique for people. And those stories, Sherif, were the story of the series is adapted primarily from the story in the novel. So we're going back to the novel and telling the origin story of all these Dirt Merchants films. And you have the novel, you have 2 characters that are loosely based on yours truly. So you have the younger version and then the future version. And it's just interesting, I think, to go back and forth. And there's also a character in the series that is based on Andrew Lane, our music producer, who's called the Hitmaker in the series. And he makes all this amazing music. So we have the actual person that is making the hits today at this day and age, this later stage. We go back in time, and he's the one creating the music in the actual series. So you have philosophies from the young alternate version of me and the older alternate version of me. You got Andrew going back in time. The music studio is based on a real studio that existed back in the day, making all this great music. The gangsters that are in the story are all based on true stories of the Italian mafia in New York at that time. The motivational speaking stories are based on all the things that I learned through the years of working with some of the top motivational masters through the years, and being able to sit at their desk. Literally, I had a legendary person in the personal development industry. He was my boss for 1 year. I sat at his desk every morning with my coffee, waiting on instructions from him, and all of that experience and knowledge base in terms of positive psychology and success training that I learned. It's all in these stories, whether it be a warning when you're dealing with the mobsters and all these vicious gangsters and the crime, or whether you're dealing with the actual people who are on the hero's journey arc. The lessons are there, and it's good for you. It's like that beautiful meal that you can eat, and there's a little dessert sprinkled in, but it's really the good stuff that when you watch these stories, you can gain something. They're family friendly, PG-13, if you will. It's not, they're probably not for little kids, but they because the themes are very sophisticated themes. I believe that the writing is pretty good, seeing as I wrote them, but not only because I wrote them, because the dialogue and the storylines come from what I learned from the motivational masters. And that's why I want to segue to Chief right now, because he's one of those motivational masters that back in the day, if I'd have met him back in the day, he'd have been one of these people that would be my mentor, being in the business, in the industry so long, being a police officer for 30 years, being a best-selling author, trusted enough at the highest level in government to bodyguard 2 U.S. presidents. So, and then to take all those experience and teach and train. So the writing and the storylines, going back to your original question, which was about the novel, is all based on the things that I learned from people like Lester. So Lester, why don't you go ahead and put some spice on that?
You know, when you have an opportunity to feed into someone, all of us have wisdom, but how do we use it? How do we talk about it? You know, even I have learned from all those people like the Zig Ziggers, the Jim Rohns, the Les Browns, Tony Robbins. All of those had words for us that we needed to be able to be involved in. And you look at today, where can we find it? Where do we have those stories that will pick us up, will move us, motivate us, will have us to feel that we're in the right place at the right time? And that's what we're doing here. We're making sure that people can hear it, see it, taste it, feel it. When you're adding a movie and you're putting music to any movie, what do you remember more, the movie, or do you remember the music? And most times you can't really tell, because if that one song hits you, you're there. You know, Henning talks about often, we put these 21 songs in, and the only person who has right underneath us is a guy somebody may remember by the name of Prince, one of the biggest music artists ever. And he did that for his first movie. Well, we've done it for our first movie, and we're seeing how people are receptive to what we have, to put that mental thought in and to watch the movie and remember their favorite parts. You know, some of the people will be dancing at our movie because of the music. So let's prepare ourselves for everything that we can learn and talk to somebody about and inspire them and see what is the hero's story here. What is that thing that you'll walk away with and you can't wait until tell someone, not just in our community, but to tell your family, your friends, people that you know from other places. You want to be able to be a part of this experience right now. And I love personal development because it gives you something to talk about, not talk at.
Yes, I want to ask Hennings about the softwares you used for the AI film, because I'm familiar with several software. I do some AI films. I have a channel as well with an AI character myself. So there is VO3 on the market by Google. Sura 2 is shutting down in a couple of days by ChatGPT and Microsoft. And there is Kling, there is Sea Dream. Maybe all of us have seen, this video featuring Brad Pitt fighting Tom Cruise, So tell me about the back end. What kind of softwares you have used?
Well, it's really not one software. It's a combination of many technologies that we
Yes.
have, that we are using. We submitted a patent to the patent office, so we're waiting to see our status if we receive that patent. So now it's basically it's on application. There's basically 11 steps in the process.
Yes.
And how we do it. But I think more important than the actual software is the dedication to telling a story. And that's really what and I know the question is for filmmakers or for media creators that are looking to do AI work. Now, we do have a show that we have launched on Echoes TV. We go live every Friday at 11 o'clock. All you have to do is go to echoestv.com and you'll see all the information about our different live shows. And that's where we talk about how we do it, how we do the actual AI rendering. Yeah, so you're all invited to come on. You have to be a subscriber. I must say to the platform, but we're showing you step by step, and then we record those sessions and we put them into our library. And we show you the base. And this series is designed to be a basic training on how to create the scenes. I'll give you a couple of strategies and things to think about for your audiences. First of all, you have it starts with an image. You always must start with the actual image that you want to move. So image first, then move the image second. And a lot of people get it wrong. They try to create the image and the movement together, and it comes out with something that's not what they asked for, and then they get frustrated and probably go away, right? So you start with the image. If you want it to be great, it's very similar to creating a film or a scene in a film.
Yes.
You got to start with your set. Let's say your movie starts off in a restaurant, which one of my movies starts off in a restaurant. You create the set. What does that mean? Well, you've got to get the location. You have to have the right things on the walls, the right either wall hangings or whatever's supposed to be on the walls, whether it's artwork or posters or a menu or whatever needs to be on the walls. Then you got to get your extras, and each extra has to be sitting at the various tables. Everyone has to be dressed appropriately. If it's winter, they got to be dressed in warm clothes. If it's summer, they got to be dressed in light clothes. If it's a formal place, they got to be formal wear. If it's a diner, they're less formal. You want to have a certain mix of crowd so you don't offend the people that they wait, where are the brown people in this movie, right? Or whatever. You want to be conscious. You're telling a story. You don't want distractions. Then you have to say, okay, who are the main actors? Where are they going to be sitting? You block that. What do they look like? What is the hairstyle, the look and feel? Do they have a beard? Do they not have a beard? Does she heavy makeup, light makeup, blonde hair, blue eye, whatever? All those things have to be set before you start shooting. In addition, the set needs to be taken care of. You have to make sure that there's proper food on a table. If it's a vegetarian restaurant, you can't have a big fat steak in the. You have to have vegetables, right? Salad. So all these little details, the forks that are there, the salt, the pepper shaker, is there Tabasco sauce on the table? All those things are set before you start shooting. And it's the same concept when you're creating an AI clip, which right now, I don't know when you're watching this, the AI clips are only a few seconds long. Will that increase in the short term, long term? I don't know. I don't have the answers. But since I started, they haven't really increased. It's only a few seconds you've got here. And I have my own theories as to why that is. But regardless, you're creating a short clip first, and then you create a next clip and a next clip, and you string them together, and eventually enough 10-second or 5-second clips you can make an hour and 40 minutes if you have the patience and the dedication of doing it. But you don't want to move the image until you create the image. So that's my biggest, and it doesn't matter really what software you use. There are many really great ones, but it depends on each photo model has a different specialty or a different thing that it does well. Some work more on animation. Some are better with photorealism. Some are better with fantasy or creating different. So you pick the one that makes sense. But the key is to get that photo first and having the background, Sherif, in Photoshop. People think, well, it's all AI. Well, we're not just using AI. We're using Photoshop. We're using After Effects. We're using Premiere Pro. We're using traditional software to get it to where we want it to go. But it starts with the image. And if you start playing with the photo softwares, and also if you know Photoshop, those are two advantages. Get the image right, then move the image. That's my one piece of advice for people creating these AI clips. Yeah.
Yes, I want to speak about programming. I mean programming Ecos TV. You have your own production like this film, and also you have other programs as well. So right now, beside creating your own production and put it on Ecos TV, do you or do you acquire other programs from around the world? This is one question. The other question is about creators, because a lot of them are watching maybe us later on YouTube, or knowing about Ecos TV from the publicity and sales campaign you are doing and marketing. So if a creator has an idea and he would like to submit it, or she wants to submit it to Ecos TV, what is the best process?
I think, Chief, you can speak to that.
Sure.
It's the funniest process, and this you can leave us on screen. Subscribe. The easiest way to go through any of the process is to subscribe to us. We have so many ways to teach, to really communicate our way of how you can get more involved in the whole process. The little subscription that we ask for is really less than taking a family out to dinner one time. We ask this for a year. And when you subscribe for the little $99, you get a chance to see everything we have is all explained out. We have done videos for everything that we do on our program, on our page, on our subscription model. Everybody has a way to see everything that we do one at a time. And it's just asking the question. For some that don't know, no matter where you are, if you go to ecostv.com on your phone or on your tablet or on your computer, you can download the app and be able to see things that we are doing on our programming. We want to keep the family look, the family tribe. We want to be able to have people be able to communicate with us, and we do all within our power to make sure that you have an exceptional, great time in learning the process. It's easy to go onto the platform. Everything is out there. So we're involved in your life 24/7, 365.
Excellent. Okay. Last question. I want to know your hopes and dreams for Ecos TV.
Chief, you first.
just like Desi Arnaz, to become one of the biggest channels that we can ever come, and to be able to show people how they can be involved in the movie business instead of it being so far away from everybody, to actually put it in your hand and actually see and enjoy the experience of what movie making is all about. Being an entrepreneur, you don't set the limits, you turn around and rise above what you thought that you could do.
Yes. And
well,
Henning?
I would say that I echo Chief's response here, and in that we are intending to grow as large as we possibly can. Now we have our short-term goals, meaning where we are headed in the next 6 months, 12 months, and whatnot. And beyond that, it's to grow as big as we can potentially, to our potential. As simple as that. And the reason being, and what drives us, is not just to be big, or just to make a lot of money. It's great to be big and to be recognized for that, and be a household name. And I encourage everyone to make as much money as you can. Don't shy away from making a lot of money in this world. But that's not really the motivation, because once you have the notoriety and the success and the money, then what's next to motivate you? And a lot of people lose their motivation after they achieve goals. And we're not going to fall into that trap. Our reason for moving to larger scale productions and larger scale audiences is so we can have more reach. We can reach more people, because I knew the person that I was the day before I met my mentors, my first set of mentors at age 17. It was between junior and senior year of high school, which I was just about to drop out of. I was troubled, confused, not happy, not a happy person. I was probably a depressed teenager. And even though back then they didn't diagnose these things, right? But I was probably depressed. They would have probably, today's day and age, they probably would have put me on some kind of medication. I don't mean to make light of it, but I needed to be medicated. I needed to be institutionalized, something, right? Because I was messed up. I remember the day before I met my mentors and the day after I met them, I changed. I completely changed. And it didn't take months and months, didn't take years. It took one day, not even a day. It took a few hours of being exposed to a new way of thinking for me, right? And I know that there are so many people around the world that maybe we're not in a situation that I was in, that need to hear the message, but maybe they're in a worse situation, or maybe they're not as bad, but they know there's something out there. So when we come along and we start talking about positivity and talking about having a great attitude and about being a responsible person and watching what comes into your watching and being a gatekeeper of what enters your psyche, and surrounding yourself with successful people and being a successful person and changing. And what does that mean? And what's that going to mean for you personally to be a happier person? What is that going to mean for your family, where you can be somebody who they can look up to and emulate, and you can take care of them now because your mindset is in a proper way? What does that mean to your community? You know, the people that are around you in your neighborhood, you know, friends and neighbors, right? Your church, your synagogue, your mosque, your temple, or wherever you go, right? To what does that mean for that group when you are able to bring that positivity to them? And what does it mean for your city and your you know, the local environment where you could rise up as a leader? It doesn't mean politics. It just means you can be respected in that community. And what does that mean for your nation? What does that mean for the world? If more and more people were tuning into empowering programming, that's going to make the world a better place. And can we, this is a philosophical question, Sherif, and we need to contemplate this. Would it be possible to shift the collective mindset of the world? Would it be possible to shift it, even if it's 1 degree, right? Because 1 degree difference when a plane is flying, 1 degree difference could take you to Hawaii when you want to go to China, right? 1 degree difference. So if we can move the collective psyche 1 degree, man, that would be if it were possible. I'm not saying we're going to do it. I'm saying if it were possible to do it, then should we attempt it? That's the question. And the answer for us is yes. And that's what we see this going long term. And time will tell, right? That was very deep. I'm glad I got into it. It was deep.
Yeah, Chief, you have a certain dream you would like to realize through Ecos TV as well?
I'm living that dream today.
Okay.
That's the best way I can answer. I'm living that dream.
So keep on dreaming. Okay. Okay, guys, I want to thank you very much for this live. I hope that a lot of people can discover Ecos TV. And also congratulations for the release of Deep Frame. I hope that you can release more films and more programs, you know, within Ecos TV that send the message. And yes, I will make sure when you have a new piece of news or a new release that you come on board, and maybe you can interview other staff from the community of Ecos TV in the future as well.
That'd be great. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
Sure. Bye for now.
Thank you. Have a lovely day. Take care.
You also. Right. Appreciate you.
Ciao. Thank you, Chief. Bye.